Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
No signs of spring here. Nearly all of Metro Detroit still under winter weather advisories. Snow keeps coming down, and oh my goodness, what a mess the roads have been all morning long. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I'm Rhonda Walker.
I'm Jason Colthorpe, and let's bring in Ashley, who's keeping an eye on all of this. I can attest to that. One trip out and about, Ashley, I saw several accidents still out there.
Absolutely. It only takes a coating or a couple inches of snow to create problems, and that's exactly what we still have at this lunch hour. But I want to bring you up to speed on some preliminary spotter reports that we have with the snow so far. And keep in mind, we're adding more to the mix throughout the day. Unfortunately, this evening, we could get an even heavier snow band that sets up in some locations. But these preliminary snowfall totals, Canton coming in at over 4 inches, so the morning snow definitely overachieving in that aspect. Shelby Township, 3.5 inches, just shy of 3 inches from our spotter friend Steve in Farmington. Chesterfield at 2 inches. And then there was another area in the Canton area that had just about 1 inch. So it kind of varies depending on where you're at. Exact Track 4D, we have this thick band that has still set up shop around I-94. So from just west of Detroit through Ann Arbor off towards Jackson, still dealing with some pretty heavy snow coming down at the moment. Now there's a little lull when you get to the Washtenaw-Livingston County line. Otherwise, Macomb, Oakland County still dealing with widespread snow, and that presses well up into the thumb. Clouds and radar show this wide band, and so if you think that you're catching a break if you're in that little lull, well, we're not done with it quite yet, because that stretches all the way well past Chicago and even in that western edge of Illinois that meets Iowa. So the system will still take several hours. Winter weather advisory will lift at 2 as of right now for Wayne and Washtenaw. Rest of the counties are under that until midnight. Quick look outside right now. You see the snow is still falling, and we're in the 20s and 30s. You can track these conditions in the palm of your hand with our Forewarned Weather app. Download it for free today if you haven't done so already, because I promise you're going to need that radar as we head into the evening.
Oh, it could be a lifesaver for sure. And if you were with us this morning, you saw the dozens of crashes that were happening as people were trying to get to work.
Darnell said 27 accidents in one single time. It was awful this morning. Taking a live look now at the roads in Macomb County, where Paula Tutman is trekking around. Well, it looks pretty good from that view, Paula.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. But I do want you to know that this has been changing rapidly. So we're between 14 and 15 on Van Dyke. And we're going to turn off Van Dyke because we want to show you this. This is really important. What you're seeing is a layer of ice beneath the snow. So things are warming up a little bit. The salt is working on the main roads, but this is what you need to be aware of if you turn off those main roads. If you go into a strip mall or an office place, anytime you're going off the main road, you're going to have this, you're going to encounter this layer of ice. We don't have anybody behind us, Tim. Do a hard stop so we can see what we're talking about. We're in a four-wheel drive, guys. Did you see that? We're sliding, and that's what you really need to be aware of if you're driving in this right now. Moving north, the visibility starts getting a little bit rough. We know there's another band coming right now. Things are looking a lot better, but again, moving north, the conditions deteriorate very, very quickly. When we were driving, I was driving from the north. Tim Pamplin was driving from the south. I was encountering near whiteout conditions. Things were getting worse as he was actually going north. And so those are the things you need to be aware of. Also, don't forget we've got radar. We've got sensors on our mirrors and in our dash. You need to make sure you're cleaning things off so you don't get false positives that someone is next to you or someone is not next to you because your sensors aren't reading because of snow and ice. Just some basic things we need to think of. This could be, I don't know if this is the last snow of the season or not, but it's here. We got to deal with it. Deal with the snow and the ice, and drive to other people's conditions, not yours. You might be confident, the person next to you may not be. And that's the difference, guys.
All right, Paula, thank you. And one thing we know for sure is that we all hope that this is the last one of the season. Wintry weather is not stopping thousands of people from reaching their spring break destinations, that's for sure. Metro Airport may have snow falling there as well, and it has delayed some flights, about 35 delays and 3 cancellations so far. Nick Monticelli caught up with quite a few travelers who were more than ready for a change of scenery.
You're going to Cabo?
Yeah, we're going to Cabo, baby. San Lucas, let's go!
Can I come?
You want to come?
I do.
I can't believe I just saw the news.
So when you saw the forecast of snow coming down today, you're thinking, I'm so glad to get out of here.
Yeah. I felt so bad for everyone at work. They're like, oh, what are you doing this weekend? I was like, going to Cabo.
I think you're rubbing it in their face.
I try not to, but.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Doesn't seem like it at all. All right. Have a great trip, girls. Take care.
Belly ring you got there just.
Well, not everyone was trying to get out of the snow. Some travelers Nick spoke with were even flying for ski trips, which they could have stayed here.
Yeah, they could have. A call to action from Oxford parents. Last night was the first Oxford school board meeting since James and Jennifer Crumley were convicted of involuntary manslaughter in their son's school shooting. 2 school officials testified at the shooter's parents' trial. Soon after the shooting, the Oakland County prosecutor made proffer agreements with them. These recently released documents are part of what's frustrating parents.
On January 5th, 2022, just 36 days from the tragedy, EJAC and Hopkins were signing proffer letters with the Oakland County prosecutor. And while it did not officially promise anything, the action speaks volumes.
What they want now is the school's governmental immunity dropped and the state to come in and investigate.
A hearing is set to take place on what to do with a controversial location on Detroit's west side. This is the particular location that has many in the area concerned. It was home to 2 different liquor stores over the years. This is the old Redford area. Some neighbors say that the site has nothing but trouble over the years. Others are happy to see that another business wants to open up there. The new property owners say they are not connected to anyone involved with the liquor stores that came before. The city is working to decide whether or not to allow the new store to reopen.
The Oakland Golden Grizzlies' first win in NCAA history in the round of 64 was the school's biggest by a mile, upsetting Kentucky last night. The number 14 ranked Golden Grizzlies taking down 3-seeded Kentucky 80-76 to get to the next round. The Wildcats had no answer for senior guard Jack Golke, who reined in 10 3-pointers in this, one shy of a tournament record. He ended up with 32 points. Oakland will play against number 11 North Carolina State on Saturday, and head coach Greg Kampe called it the biggest win of his career in his 40th season coaching the Grizz, and he believes his team can compete with anybody.
If we can beat Kentucky, we can beat anybody. I think Kentucky was in more Final Four brackets than most teams in there, right? Mm-hmm. So, and again, it wasn't Kentucky played a bad game. It wasn't Oakland played out of their minds. I don't think we played flawless. I don't think we did anything spectacular other than Golke going off, but we did all the things you have to do to win.
And one of them is shutting down, I think it was Sheffield, I forget which guard Kentucky has, that they're talking about that could be one of the top NBA draft picks. Shut him down.
They played a great game. I think Kampe's being very, very modest.
Yeah.
It was impressive.
Trying to keep his guys grounded. Well,
that's true.
With the first round of the NCAA tournament underway, March Madness living up to its name as it does every year, but didn't take long this year.
No, it didn't. After 8 games, the NCAA said just less than 2.5% of the brackets remain perfect in its own bracket game. I am shocked there is even perfect ones out there.
It's got to be kids' picks.
Okay.
Picked anybody.
Just random. Yeah. Yesterday's biggest bracket buster was the Oakland Grizzlies, pulling off the upset against the Kentucky Wildcats. According to the NCAA, Oakland's upset left just over 2,000 perfect brackets still standing. And you know they probably have tens of thousands of them